Have you ever struggled to get people to understand your perspective or take action based on your ideas? Have you wondered why some people seem to effortlessly influence others while you're left feeling unheard? And, more importantly, have you ever felt like someone was using persuasion against you for their gain? Persuasion is not manipulation, it's an art form. When used wisely, it can help you navigate relationships, excel in business, and gain clarity in life. But make no mistake, the same skills that empower you can be used against you by those with less honorable intentions. In this video, we'll uncover 12 powerful psychological tricks inspired by Stoic philosophy that will teach you how to influence others effectively while maintaining integrity. And just as crucially, you'll learn to recognize and protect yourself when someone tries to manipulate you. Before we dive in, show your commitment to wisdom by commenting, "I lead with intelligence." Stick around because the final trick will not only sharpen your persuasive abilities, but also transform the way you protect your mind and decisions from external influence. Let's begin. Number 1, the power of reciprocity. Have you ever noticed how a small act of kindness can create an almost irresistible urge to give something back? That's the power of reciprocity in action, a psychological phenomenon hardwired into human behavior. Imagine this. You share a helpful tip with a colleague or offer a small favor to a friend. Suddenly, they feel compelled to return the gesture, whether it's offering help, supporting your ideas, or simply being more open to your influence. Why? Because deep down, people don't like feeling indebted. It's part of human nature to want to even the scales. Here's the trick. Start with value. It could be a thoughtful piece of advice, a simple favor, or even just a moment of genuine listening. By offering something meaningful without expecting anything in return, you create a subtle but powerful sense of obligation. As Epictetus wisely said, "Give without expecting in return, but understand human nature." This approach isn't about manipulation. It's about opening the door for connection and influence. The best part? The more authentic your gesture, the more likely the other person is to respond with sincerity. Whether it's in relationships, business, or everyday life, mastering the art of reciprocity is one of the simplest yet most effective tools in your persuasion arsenal. Number 2, harness their ego. The ego is a powerful driver, often dictating how people see themselves and how they want to be seen by others. When used wisely, this can become a potent tool of persuasion. Why? Because people are far more likely to take action if it reinforces their self-image or aligns with their perceived strengths. Imagine this. You're working with a colleague who prides themselves on being the most detail-oriented person in the office. You need them to review a project, but you frame your request carefully. Instead of saying, "Can you check this for mistakes?" you say, "I'd love your sharp eye on this." It's something only someone with your attention to detail can handle. What happens? Their ego is validated, and they're now eager to take on the task, not as a favor, but as a reflection of their value. Here's the trick. Understand what people value most about themselves. Is it their intelligence, their creativity, their leadership? Then craft your requests or proposals in a way that highlights those traits. When you appeal to their strengths, they feel seen, respected, and more inclined to say yes. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. Understand what drives others and adjust your actions accordingly. This isn't about flattery, it's about genuine acknowledgement. When your words and actions resonate with their identity, persuasion becomes a collaboration rather than a struggle. Let's take a grander example. Think of a team leader who sees themselves as the ultimate problem solver. Instead of saying, "We have a problem," you say, "This is a challenge that I know only you can tackle." Suddenly, it's no longer just a problem. It's an opportunity for them to shine, and they're fully invested. But remember, this power must be wielded responsibly. The goal isn't manipulation, but collaboration. By aligning your ask with their self-perception, you create win-win situations where both parties feel respected and valued. Number 3, create scarcity. What's more irresistible than something rare, exclusive, or fleeting? The principle of scarcity is one of the most powerful psychological levers in persuasion. When people believe something is limited, whether it's time, opportunity, or resources, they are compelled to act faster, with greater urgency and with fewer doubts. Think about it. Why do flash sales work so well? Why do limited edition items sell out in minutes? Scarcity taps into a primal fear of missing out, a fear that drives people to value something even more simply because it might soon be unavailable. Here's the trick. Frame your proposal, opportunity, or request as something that won't last forever. Highlight its exclusivity or the urgency of acting now. For example, if you're negotiating a deal, say, "This offer is only valid until the end of the day." Or if you're inviting someone to collaborate, mention, "I only have space for one more person on this project." The perceived rarity immediately elevates its importance in their mind. Marcus Aurelius timelessly captured this idea. Time is finite. Treat every moment as valuable. Scarcity reminds us that opportunities are fleeting, and it nudges others to act decisively before it's too late. Let's look at a real-world scenario. Imagine you're offering a service and you say, "I only take on 3 clients per month to ensure quality, and 2 spots are already filled." Suddenly, the potential client isn't just considering your service, they're racing against the clock to secure one of the few remaining spots. But use this principle wisely. Artificial scarcity, when discovered, can break trust. Authenticity is key. Whether it's a limited time offer or a rare chance to collaborate, ensure that the scarcity is real and meaningful. Scarcity isn't just about pressure, it's about signaling value. When people know something won't be available forever, they pay closer attention, act faster, and appreciate it more deeply. Number 4, the illusion of choice. Nobody likes being told what to do, and the same goes for persuasion. The more someone feels they're in control of their decisions, the more likely they are to agree with you. That's where the illusion of choice comes in. You provide them with options, but each one subtly aligns with your desired outcome. Now let's see this in action. Say, at the dinner table with a stubborn child who refuses to eat. Instead of demanding, "Eat your vegetables," you reframe it. "Would you like broccoli or carrots with your dinner?" Suddenly, the child isn't arguing over whether to eat vegetables. They're happily choosing between the options you've given them. Either way, they're eating vegetables, and you've avoided a power struggle. Here's the trick. Present 2 or 3 options, all of which lead to the same goal. This technique makes the other person feel like they're in charge while ensuring the outcome you want. The illusion of choice works just as well in adult scenarios. Imagine you're pitching an idea at work. Instead of saying, "Let's implement this plan," you offer, "We can approach this 2 ways. Start with option A for immediate impact, or go with option B for long-term results. Which do you think fits best?" By framing it this way, you steer the decision-making process while giving them ownership of the choice. Why does this work? Because people value autonomy. By offering them the freedom to choose, you lower resistance and create a collaborative atmosphere, even though all roads lead to your desired outcome. This isn't about manipulation. It's about guiding the decision-making process in a way that feels empowering for everyone involved. The illusion of choice is subtle but highly effective, whether you're dealing with a dinner table standoff or a boardroom negotiation. Number 5, mirror their behavior. In the art of persuasion and even seduction, one of the most subtle yet powerful tools is mirroring. By gently reflecting someone's gestures, tone, or energy, you tap into a subconscious level of connection. It's as if you're saying, "I'm like you, I get you." And guess what? People are naturally drawn to those who feel familiar. Imagine you're on a first date. Your partner leans forward, rests their chin on their hand, and speaks softly. By subtly matching their posture and speaking in the same tone, you create an unspoken harmony. They may not even notice what you're doing, but they'll feel more comfortable and connected as if you're on the same wavelength. Here's the trick. The key to effective mirroring is subtlety. It's not about copying them blatantly. That would come off as awkward or insincere. Instead, it's about syncing with their energy. If they're enthusiastic and animated, let your tone and gestures match their liveliness. If they're calm and reserved, reflect that with quieter movements and a softer voice. Epictetus reminds us, blend with their rhythm, but remain true to yourself. This balance is crucial. While you want to create rapport, you should never lose your sense of self or authenticity. In the context of attraction, mirroring is incredibly powerful. Suppose the person you're trying to charm sips their drink slowly, tilts their head when listening, or nods at certain points in the conversation. By mirroring these small actions, you signal that you're in sync with them. This not only builds trust, but also creates an almost magnetic sense of familiarity. But mirroring isn't just for romance. It works in negotiations, friendships, and even professional settings. Whether you're closing a deal or building a new connection, aligning your behavior with theirs fosters a sense of unity and understanding. When done with care, mirroring becomes a silent yet profound way to say, "We're on the same team." It's subtle, it's elegant, and when paired with genuine intent, it's an irresistible tool in the art of persuasion. Number 6, anchor the conversation. First impressions matter, and not just with people. The way you start a conversation sets the tone for everything that follows. This is the power of anchoring. The first piece of information you present shapes how others perceive the rest of your message. Think about it like this. Imagine you're selling a car. Instead of starting with the price, you begin by emphasizing its premium features. This model comes with state-of-the-art safety systems, advanced fuel efficiency, and the highest reliability in its class. By the time you mention the price, their perception has already been framed. They're not thinking about the cost, they're thinking about value. Here's the trick. Start with something strong and favorable. Whether it's a statistic, a positive statement, or a compelling fact, use it to establish a foundation that aligns with your goal. The rest of the conversation will naturally flow within the framework you've created. For example, in a job interview, instead of saying, "I'm just looking for an opportunity," say, "I've consistently delivered results, improving my team's performance by 30% in the last year. I'm excited to bring that same energy here." This anchors the discussion around your strengths, not just your aspirations. Why does this work? Humans are wired to take mental shortcuts. The first information they hear becomes the lens through which they interpret everything else. A strong anchor guides their focus, making your message more persuasive and memorable. But anchoring isn't just for negotiations or sales. It works in personal relationships too. Imagine a tough conversation with a friend or partner. Instead of diving into complaints, start with a positive anchor. "I value our friendship so much, and I want us to be even stronger." By framing the discussion positively, you create a constructive tone that steers the conversation toward resolution. Anchoring is about setting the stage. Start strong, lead with impact, and watch as the rest of the dialogue unfolds in your favor. Number 7, leverage social proof. People are naturally drawn to what others are doing. It's human psychology. When we see a crowd excited about something, we can't help but think, there must be something worth checking out here. This is the power of social proof. We trust the decisions of others, especially when it feels like the majority is on board. Now imagine this scenario. You're trying to convince your crush to go to a concert with you. Instead of simply saying, "Hey, let's go to this concert," you frame it using social proof. Everyone's been talking about how amazing this band is live. They sold out their last 3 shows in minutes. People are saying this might be their best tour yet. Suddenly, it's not just your idea. It's a movement they don't want to miss out on. Here's the trick. Highlight the popularity or success of your idea. It could be the crowd's enthusiasm, the event's exclusivity, or testimonials from others who've already had a great experience. By showing that many people are already on board, you create an irresistible sense of belonging and FOMO, fear of missing out. Why does this work? People often find comfort and validation in group behavior. If others are excited about something, it lowers resistance and makes the idea feel safer and more appealing. But remember, authenticity matters. Don't exaggerate or invent hype. It's about highlighting genuine enthusiasm or success. For example, if you're pitching a new restaurant for a date, mention reviews or how busy it usually is. "This place is always packed. It's rated one of the best spots in town." In relationships, friendships, or even business, social proof is a subtle but powerful tool. It's not about pressuring someone. It's about showing them they're joining something others already value and enjoy. Number 8, focus on the pain points. When it comes to winning someone's heart, focusing on pain points might sound counterintuitive, but it's a psychological goldmine. People are naturally more motivated to avoid discomfort or dissatisfaction than they are to pursue pleasure. If you can tap into their unspoken needs or frustrations and show how you're the solution, you become irresistible. Let's bring this to life. Imagine the person you're crushing on often talks about feeling stressed or overwhelmed with work. Instead of saying, "Let's hang out sometime," you craft your offer around their pain point. "You've been working so hard, you deserve a break. How about we go grab a coffee or take a walk? I promise, no work talk allowed." Now you're not just suggesting a date, you're offering them an escape from their stress. Here's the trick. Pay close attention to what's bothering them, even in casual conversations. Is it loneliness, boredom, or stress? Frame your invitation as a way to address that pain point. For example, if they've been complaining about being stuck in a routine, you could say, "I found this cool live music spot that's different. I think you'd love it. Want to check it out with me?" Why does this work? Because addressing someone's pain creates an immediate emotional connection. It shows that you're not just listening, but you care enough to offer a solution. And in the process, you position yourself as someone who makes their life better, not just someone who wants their attention. But remember, subtlety is key. You're not here to solve all their problems, just to be a breath of fresh air when they need it most. Authenticity matters. Don't overpromise or push too hard. When done right, this approach isn't just persuasive, it's deeply meaningful. By showing you understand their struggles and offering a way to ease them, you become more than a potential date. You become a source of comfort and joy in their life. Number 9, tell a story. Humans are wired for stories. A well-told story doesn't just share information. It stirs emotions, captures attention, and leaves a lasting impression. That's why storytelling is such a powerful tool, whether it's in marketing, persuasion, or building connections. Take this clever marketing example. A clothing brand changes something seemingly trivial, making tags easier to remove from garments. Instead of just listing this as a feature, they weave a narrative about how they're dedicated to customer comfort, about listening to feedback from people who found tags itchy or irritating. Suddenly, it's not just a small change, it's a declaration of care. And you, the customer, feel seen and valued. Here's the trick. Craft a story that resonates emotionally while subtly highlighting your point. The story should align with the values or desires of your audience, whether it's a romantic partner, a client, or a friend. For example, if you're convincing someone to join you on a volunteer trip, you might say, "Last year I volunteered at a similar event. There was this moment when we helped a family rebuild their home, and the joy on their faces was unforgettable. I'd love for you to experience something like that. It's life-changing." Now, it's not just about asking them to help, it's about inviting them into a meaningful experience. Why does this work? Because stories bypass logical defenses and speak directly to emotions. Facts are easily forgotten, but a great story lingers, carrying your message with it. Seneca captured this perfectly. A story endures where arguments fade. When you tell a story, you're not just communicating. You're creating a connection, a shared moment that stays with the other person long after the conversation ends. This technique is a favorite in marketing because it builds trust and relatability. Imagine an ad for a small business. Instead of listing features like handmade or locally sourced, they tell the story of the owner waking up at dawn to craft each product with care. That story doesn't just inform, it inspires and persuades. In persuasion, storytelling isn't about manipulation, it's about adding depth and meaning to your message. Use it wisely and watch how it transforms your ability to connect and influence. Number 10, build credibility through confidence. Confidence isn't just a state of mind, it's a signal. The way you speak, walk, or even hold yourself can make others trust you, even before you say a word. People naturally gravitate toward those who project assurance and authority, making confidence one of the most persuasive tools you can wield. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where two people present the same idea, but the one with a stronger voice, better posture, and clearer words wins everyone over? That's the power of confidence at work. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Here's the trick. Even if you're not feeling confident, act as though you are. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and speak with clarity. Avoid filler words like or I think. Instead, deliver your ideas as if they're facts. Because if you don't believe in your message, why should anyone else? The old saying, fake it till you make it, rings true here. Confidence, even if initially forced, becomes second nature over time. The more you practice, the more authentic it feels, and the more people will respond to you positively. For example, imagine you're asking someone out or pitching an idea. Instead of nervously saying, I was wondering if you might want to grab coffee, you confidently say, I know, this great spot for coffee, let's go this weekend. It's assertive without being overbearing, and it immediately positions you as someone who knows what you want. Why does this work? Confidence creates a ripple effect. When you project certainty, others feel secure in your presence and ideas. As Marcus Aurelius put it, if you would be respected, first respect yourself. But confidence isn't just about presentation, it's also about preparation. Know your subject, anticipate questions, and back up your claims with facts or examples. Whether it's a first date or a business pitch, being well-prepared reinforces your self-assured demeanor. Remember, confidence is magnetic. People trust those who appear to trust themselves. So straighten your back, steady your voice, and embrace the power of poise. Number 11, validate their emotions. Few things are more disarming in a tense situation than feeling truly understood. When someone is upset, whether it's a frustrated family member or a difficult client, the simple act of acknowledging their emotions can dissolve hostility and build trust. I understand how you feel can be a game-changing phrase. Imagine a family dispute over an important decision. A sibling feels overlooked and says, "No one ever listens to me." Instead of immediately defending yourself, you validate their feelings. I can see why you'd feel that way. It's frustrating not to be heard. That one statement doesn't mean you agree, but it shows that you respect their perspective. It diffuses tension and makes them more willing to listen to your side. Here's the trick. Validation doesn't mean surrendering your point of view. It's about reflecting ton-air emotions and making them feel seen before you present your argument. For example, with an upset client, instead of diving into explanations, you start with, "I understand this has been a frustrating experience for you. Let's work together to make it right." Once their emotions are acknowledged, they're far more likely to engage constructively. Why does this work? People's emotions often need to be heard before their logic can engage. By validating their feelings, you create a foundation of trust, making them more receptive to your ideas or solutions. Epictetus captured this concept perfectly. We have two ears and one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The act of listening and acknowledging feelings is not a concession. It's a strategy to foster connection and collaboration. For recurring situations like disputes with loved ones or challenging customers, this approach becomes even more valuable. Consistently demonstrating empathy not only resolves conflicts faster, but also builds long-term respect and rapport. Validation is a bridge. It connects emotional expression with rational dialogue. So next time you're faced with anger, frustration, or hurt feelings, pause, acknowledge, and reflect before responding. You'll be amazed at how it transforms the conversation. Number 12, plant the seed of doubt. Subtle doubt can be a powerful motivator. When someone's current belief or choice is gently questioned, it can nudge them to reconsider and explore alternatives, especially when presented in a non-confrontational way. Take the world of shopping as an example. You're standing in a grocery aisle, and a label on a package says, "Organic, no additives, 100% natural." You might not have thought twice about your usual choices before, but now you start wondering, wait, does this mean all the food I've been eating is full of chemicals? That tiny seed of doubt makes you pause, reconsider, and perhaps even switch brands. Here's the trick. Instead of directly challenging someone's choices, pose a question or share information that sparks curiosity. For instance, if someone tells you they always stick to the same restaurant, you might say, "That's great. Have you ever tried another place? I heard their dishes are made entirely from fresh, local ingredients." You're not criticizing their usual choice. You're inviting them to explore something potentially better. Why does this work? People resist being told what to think, but they're open to reevaluating their choices when presented with new information in a non-threatening way. The doubt you plant doesn't force a decision. It lets them come to it naturally. Epictetus reminds us, questioning leads to understanding. By introducing doubt, you're not creating conflict. You're opening a door for exploration. The key is curiosity, not confrontation. Questions like, have you ever thought about, or did you know, plant ideas gently, allowing the other person to feel like they're in control of their decisions. So the next time you want someone to reconsider their choices, whether it's what they eat, where they shop, or how they think, don't argue. Instead, plant a subtle question and let their curiosity do the rest. Master the art of persuasion. Persuasion is not about control. It's about understanding human nature and wielding that knowledge with wisdom and grace. With these 12 psychological strategies, you now hold the tools to navigate any situation or relationship with elegance, confidence, and integrity. Remember, true persuasion isn't forceful. It's collaborative. It's about opening minds, inspiring action, and creating meaningful connections. Each trick we've explored is rooted in respect and designed to empower, not manipulate. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who could benefit from these insights. And don't forget to hit subscribe to Victory Stoic for more powerful lessons from Stoicism and beyond. Let me leave you with this. Influence with integrity, lead with wisdom, and watch how the world responds to the strength of your character. Together, let's master the art of persuasion. See you in the next video.